are you doing?
Good, how are you? My name's Ashley.
Ashley McKenzie.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. So, tell me a little bit about yourself. What's your favorite ice cream?
I'm a senior at Grand Valley. I'm pre-PT, obviously. My favorite ice cream is chocolate mousse tracks. I'm a very big chocolate person.
Me too.
So yeah.
Awesome. I love it's the double chocolate from Dairy Queen.
Yes.
Oh my god, those
Or
blizzards.
have you ever had the chocolate devotion from Cold Stone Creamery?
Yes.
That's really good too, with the brownie.
With the brownie chocolate. Perfect. I love those. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with our interview real quick.
Okay. Here's my resume, just so that you have a copy of it.
Thank you very much. Okay, so describe a situation in which you were able to use persuasion to successfully convince someone.
Yeah, no problem. I had a friend who was trying to decide whether they should go out for the club team at Grand Valley or whether they should just stick with playing on their own. And I was telling them that maybe they should just play with, because they have a very large group of friends that might always play Frisbee with them, because it's for the Ultimate Frisbee team. They play together all the time, and I said, well, what's really the benefit of being on the club versus that? Make sure you take that into consideration, because it is a lot of money to be on the club team. You have to pay about $200, and then all the extra fees and everything. And so I was trying to persuade them that maybe it might be better if they just stick with just playing with their friends, because they get the same amount of enjoyment out of it, but without having to take that financial hit, because I knew they were in financial disparity.
True.
I don't actually know which one they ended up choosing, but they seem to like my point.
Well, there you go. Kind of give them both ways, both options.
Yeah, make sure they're thinking it through and they know what their options are and they understand what might happen no matter which road they take, so they understand what they're going into.
Awesome, okay. Can you give me some specific examples of time when you had to conform to a policy in which you didn't agree?
No problem. I'm a tutor for Grand Valley, and they have this policy that states that after 2 missed sessions, the student is automatically dropped from your schedule. I feel that maybe that policy is a little too constrictive. I understand the purpose for it, because they really want to make sure that the students aren't wasting our time and that they're actually showing up when they're supposed to. But I feel maybe sometimes life gets in the way and they can't always show up, so it's not fair to say, well, you can't have tutoring anymore, because what if they really need it? But it is their policy, and I do work for them, so I obviously conform to it. And what I've done to adjust to that is I just make sure that whenever I sit down with a student for the very first time, I make sure that they understand that rule, you know. After 2 times, you are going to be dropped, so make sure you come. Make sure you're only not coming if you really, really can't get out of whatever it is you have to do. And I explained to them that I understand, I'm very understanding, but that's just how the rules are. And I tell them, you know, even if they can just show up for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, then we can count it as having a session, and they won't get dropped, and that way they don't lose out on their help.
Okay, awesome. What do you tutor?
I tutor exercise physiology and then a couple of psychology courses.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Tell me why PT? What interests you about it?
So it's kind of goes back a long ways. When I was in middle school, actually, I was running cross country, and so I had to get a sports physical done. And I was sitting in the waiting room waiting for the doctor, and I was like, oh my gosh, is the doctor ever going to get here? You know, the typical.
Yeah.
And there was this poster on the wall of bones and muscles, and I was looking at it, and I was just fascinated. I was like, oh my gosh, look at that big muscle. Look at how they all intertwine, and how they, you know, this must not be as simple as we think it is. There's got to be at least 12 different muscles that are working there. And I'd always wanted to do something medical. Ever since the time I was a little kid, I jumped from OBGYN to full-up surgeon to just regular MD. And so after seeing the look at the muscles, I was like, oh, maybe PT. And as I looked into it further, I realized that they really, really make a huge difference in people's lives without using drugs. I feel like a lot of times when you go to the doctors, they just write you a script. And they're like, well, here's hoping for you. Whereas with PT, you can go and you get to know the person over 6 weeks, 12 weeks, however long they need therapy. You get to know them because you're seeing them multiple times a week, just not once a year. And you get to help them, really help them without putting drugs into their system.
Awesome. Okay. Well, that's all the questions that I have for you today.
All right.
So thank you again for your time.
It was great to meet you.
It was nice meeting you too. All
right. Thank you.